The president and some of his Republican allies, they're seeking retaliation in the aftermath of the impeachment saga. One America's Marty Golingan runs through the political hit list.
President Trump is out for vengeance and leading the charge against those who he believes wronged him throughout the impeachment inquiry and the Senate trial.
As everybody knows, my family, our great country, and your president have been put through a terrible ordeal by some very dishonest and corrupt people. They have done everything possible to destroy us, and by so doing, very badly hurt our nation. They know what they are doing is wrong, but they put themselves far ahead of our great country.
The first person already feeling the wrath of the president is Republican Utah Senator Mitt Romney. After his conviction vote in the Senate, Romney was branded a traitor and a Democrat asset by President Trump and his allies in Congress. The GOP then released an attack ad against the former Republican presidential nominee.
Slick, slippery, stealthy. Mitt Romney had us fooled.
Being in Donald Trump's magnificent hotel and having his endorsement is a delight.
Posing as Republican, he tried to infiltrate Trump's administration as Secretary of State.
President-elect Trump is the very man who can lead us to that better future.
Now his cover's blown, exposed by news reports as a Democrat's secret asset.
Can't believe you're going to lose. Yeah.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is also in the president's crosshairs after her failed bid to remove him from office. Many of his GOP allies in the House are taking the fight directly to the Madam Speaker. In a party-line vote this past week, the House rejected a Republican proposed measure to condemn Pelosi for tearing up a copy of President Trump's State of the Union address. Pelosi claims, quote, she doesn't need lessons on dignity. An ethics committee investigation has now been proposed to check Pelosi, and most Republicans are also proposing a censure vote against the Speaker to uphold the integrity of the lower chamber.
It's not about petty politics. It's about, number one, maintaining the rule of law, but also preserving our institution here. I think at the end of the day, it's our institutions themselves that are really under assault, that are really suffering here. In a constitutional republic, in a government of, by, and for the people have to have faith in their lawmaking body. That's essential to maintain a republic. And I think we're losing a lot of that, and that's why we feel like these measures are important to press.
Meantime, Republicans in the Senate are making good on their vows to investigate possible corruption of the Bidens. The Treasury Department sent Hunter Biden's financial records to Senators Chuck Grassley and Ron Johnson related to the Biden-Ukraine dealings. Last November, the two senators requested evidence of possible corruption and the Bidens' role in alleged money laundering from Ukraine into the U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham says he supports an outside investigation of Joe Biden's alleged conflict of interest regarding his son's business dealings and recently pledged complete Senate oversight of the allegations.
I think it's bad foreign policy if you're going to be in charge of dealing with corruption in the Ukraine, that your son hook up with the most corrupt company in the Ukraine and turn the Ukraine into ATM machine. You worry about the Russians compromising us because of Burisma. When you put your family member in that situation, it's not good, folks. That's not bad. That's not good foreign policy.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration makes good on their pledge to clean house. On Friday, Gordon Sondland was recalled as U.S. ambassador to the European Union after he publicly testified there was a quid pro quo regarding Ukraine military aid and sought after investigations into the Bidens in 2016. And security escorted now former National Security Council officials Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman and his twin brother Yevgeny from the White House grounds after being reassigned out of the West Wing. This after the president ordered aides and advisors to disobey congressional requests and subpoenas. Vindman was blasted on social media for disobeying the commander-in-chief's orders and testifying against the president because he disagreed with his foreign policy decisions. Ever since, President Trump has labeled Vindman a so-called never-Trumper and even foreshadowed his removal before it became official on Friday.
Well, I'm not happy with him. You think I'm supposed to be happy with him? I'm not. They'll make that decision. You'll be hearing. They'll make a decision.
U.S. Attorney John Durham is set to wrap up his criminal probe into the origins of the Russia investigation sometime this spring or early summer. And we can expect more scores to be settled by the Trump administration this year, and he is expected to shed more light on alleged misconduct of Trump political opponents. Marty Golingan, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.